Hello, healthy friends. This is Terry coming to you on May Day from deep in the forest. And I'm talking today about the new moon in Taurus, which will be happening on May 11th for those of us in the Pacific Northwest. And for some of you, it'll be happening on May 12th. And Taurus is such an earthy sign. This is such a good time to get out into nature, get out into the garden, grow some food. Taurus is ruled by Venus, and this is a really powerful time for setting intentions around love, money, beauty, food, fitness. This is the time to plant your seeds in the garden. Where I live in Bend, Oregon, we watch for the Black Butte Mountain to see when the last bit of snow will melt, and that is the time to plant our seeds. And just today, as we were driving to this forest sanctuary, I saw that the Black Butte Mountain is completely bare of snow except for the tippy top. So I will definitely be planting seeds on this May 11th Taurus New Moon. And so get out into your garden and plant those seeds for love, money, fitness, food, and all the things that Taurus craves. We've been under an earthy Taurus stellium for most of the last few weeks, since April, and now Venus and Mercury have moved on to Gemini, really picking up speed with a faster pace. And we still have 5 planets lined up in Taurus. We have Uranus in Taurus, which of course just had that Sun-Uranus conjunction, which was a wild ride. I think I told you guys, look out for earthquakes, and sure enough, you can look this up, we just had a huge earthquake swarm right off the Oregon coast, outside of Bandon, Oregon. There were 6 earthquakes deep in the ocean, and thank goodness they were 6 miles deep, because they were ranging between 4 to 6 magnitude earthquakes, but at least they were off the coast, so it didn't cause too much trouble. But that Sun-Uranus conjunction did cause some scary stuff with our energy grid. Maybe you heard about that. We almost had our entire American energy grid hacked. So that is so Uranus, unexpected, surprising rebellion, and I'm just glad that one's over. But we still have these 5 planets in Uranus, and we have Taurus and Uranus that will be there for a long time, and Ceres, which is the goddess planet of the harvest, is in Taurus. That's a really good placement for Ceres. And then we have the sun. On this new moon, we'll have the sun and the moon conjuncting Black Moon Lilith, so we can have a lot of divine goddess feminine energy uprising for this new moon. It is a really good time if you were interested in starting like a women's group or maybe gathering with women. This is a good time. Even if you do a women's group online on a Zoom, it's a good time to gather that feminine power, feminine forces together to manifest change. And this Taurus new moon is an amazing manifest energy. If you know Taurus, or if you are a Taurus, raise your hand, comment below if you're a Taurus, because Taurus are incredible manifestors. When they see something they want, whether it's a job or somebody they're in love with, they go after it and they get it. I love my Taurus friends because they teach me how to manifest. So whatever you set into motion on this powerful Taurus manifesting new moon, it will come into fruition most likely 6 months from now on November 19th, when we have the November 19th full moon in Taurus, which will be a lunar eclipse. And so this new moon is going to be connected to a full moon eclipse, which says that whatever you plant the seeds of now, you can expect that there will be a lot of change around that. And it's just like gardening. For those of you who are gardeners, you plant your seeds now, and you just wait, and you just have faith that whatever intention, whatever seed you are planting in the rich soil of the earth, will manifest, and it may take 6 months. And you don't go out into the garden and dig it up to see if anything is happening. It might look like nothing is happening, but little by little, that plant is sprouting and pushing up and growing, and by November 19th, whatever intention you plant will bear fruit. And then you can harvest, and then you will have these profound changes. So really be careful about what you set into motion, because it can cause a change. Like they say, be careful what you ask for, especially with this new moon energy. You most likely will get it. So if there's something that you want to become, this is the time to focus on it. Write it down, put it in your law of attraction journal, talk about it. Change your story to embrace it. And a really good Taurus exercise you can do at this new moon, I encourage you, is to look deeply in your mirror. You can do this one in the morning before you start your day, and then you can do it again a second time at night before you go to bed. And just looking in the mirror, and try this simple I am exercise, where you say I am, affirming whatever you want to manifest, and then that I am. And you can say, I am strong, that I am. I am abundant, that I am. I am radiating health and vitality, that I am. I am energetic, that I am. You can see how it goes. And so just think of what is it you want to become. I am an Oregon State Lottery jackpot winner, that I am. Anything. I mean, just put in whatever I want. I am a pilot. I am a doctor. Whatever you want to become, whatever you want to step into, own it by saying, I am that I am. And you will be surprised if you just keep telling yourself this story every day about who it is you want to become. You will manifest it. I promise you, it will happen. It is done. And just take some time for this new moon to just really figure out again. Every month we plant those seeds, and we got to think again, what do I want to plant? What do I want to become? What do I want to manifest? So give yourself the time and space. And this is also a really good new moon for taking time and space for self-care, getting a massage, going to the chiropractor, or even just taking a nice floral herbal bath. We have all these flowers that are popping up in our gardens, and if you're lucky enough to have a garden full of lavender or any other beautifully scented flowers, just go harvest them this spring and throw them in your tub and give yourself 2 hours to soak, you know, in flowers. You'll be so uplifted. And of course, getting out into nature and hugging the trees and gardening, walking, get out into the earth. The earth is calling you this time. And because this is such a potent manifesting energy, make sure that you are really careful not to fill your beautiful mind with any negative garbage, because we don't want to manifest that, right? We don't want to manifest any more fear. We don't want to put energy and manifesting to any kind of divisive energy. We don't want to be lowering our vibration with the news. Just turn the news off, please. Stop paying attention. Just focus on what you want, and don't cloud your mind, because collectively we are going through some really incredible shifting changes, and we are co-creating a whole new world, and it is really happening right now. This summer we're gonna see changes that are gonna knock your socks off. And so get really clear about what you want to manifest. And if you don't want to manifest fear, then don't give fear your energy and don't pay attention to it. If you want to manifest money, put your attention there. If you want to manifest love, put your attention there. If you want to manifest getting in shape, go for a walk, go for a jog, go out in nature. You know, really pay attention to what it is you want to co-create in this new way of being that we are stepping into all summer long. And this new moon will wax into a supermoon total lunar eclipse in fiery Sagittarius. And talk about a change maker. Sagittarius have no problem making change. And when you've got a Sagittarius supermoon that is also an eclipse, Sagittarius is here, the archer, to make a huge change in our world. And I don't know what it is, but I'll tell you next month when I do my supermoon report. I've been starting to do the research. It's pretty interesting. And this will be felt really deeply by Sagittarius because the moon is in South Node Sagittarius. And this will also be felt really deeply by North Node Gemini. So if you're a Sagittarius or a Gemini, you're having your South Node, North Node, that is, and if you have your North Node or South Node in Gemini or Sagittarius, you're either having your North Node return or your South Node reversal. So let me know if you know your North Node. Put it in the comments and I can tell you based on your North Node how this eclipse is really going to affect you for the next report I do. And I might even include what sign you are and tell you about it in the next report. But if you don't know your North Node, you can go to astro.com and just pull up a free report and look for where it says True Node. And I tell you, if you are 37 years old or older, well, if you're 37 years old, you're probably going through your North Node return. But if you're 37 or older, get to know your North Node. This work is so important, and the North Node is all about your true purpose in life. It's why you're here. It's what your soul's mission is. Do you ever think, what is this all about? Why am I here? What am I supposed to be doing with my life? North Node. North Node is where you want to go into the chart. It will tell you why you are here and what you're supposed to be doing. So check that out. And if you know your North Node, like I said, tell me in the comments. And also, another really important aspect is May 13th, just after this new moon, Jupiter will be entering Pisces. And as a water sign myself, I'm a Scorpio with a Pisces moon, I am thrilled to see Jupiter in Pisces because Jupiter grants wishes. Jupiter is like the king of prosperity and he grants wishes. Whatever you want, Jupiter will give it to you. And if you are a water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, then starting May 13th, it's time to tell Jupiter what you want because he will be blowing kisses and you'll be getting really nice surprises from Jupiter. And we all have Pisces somewhere, right? So somewhere in your house is where the Pisces resides. And so if you know where your Pisces is, you will know where Jupiter is going to be giving you gifts. It's a really good thing to know. And that's something you can see when you pull up your chart as well. And Pisces is just this very creative, intuitive placement for Jupiter. Some say that Pisces was the original sign that ruled Jupiter. So that's really interesting. I don't know a huge amount about that. I connect Jupiter typically more with Sagittarius, but we might just see an expansion. Jupiter, always expansion. We might see an expansion of art and creativity and music. It could be really like the Renaissance is beginning starting May 13th, where people are getting more into just doing creative pursuits. And Pisces is also the last house in the zodiac, and so it has a lot to do with endings and death. And so some things might be ending for a lot of us. Maybe it's the end of a job, maybe it's the end of a relationship, or a lot of people seem to be moving. Maybe you are just ending a cycle, and so don't be afraid of that. So if you lost your job during this time, don't worry, it's just making space for something even better, for you to step into what you're really here to do. And so just allow the release, let go of things. This is a really good time for decluttering. This is a really good time for space clearing. This is a really excellent time for energy clearing. I'm going to do a little energy clearing at the end of this. And just let it go, as they say. And for those of you who are parents or teachers who have kids that you work with that are between the years born 2003 through 2011, those kids from 2003 to 2011 were born with Uranus in Pisces, and it's going to be an interesting time because Jupiter is going to line up with that Uranus in Pisces. They're going to have a direct conjunction as Jupiter in Pisces crosses over their chart. We can see Jupiter is expansion, Uranus is rebellion, and so we can have an expansion of rebellion with these kids starting mid-May and going all the way through July. So I'm already predicting that we're going to see kids that just want to be free, have parties. Kids want to have a prom. I know a lot of seniors are graduating, and in the town I live in, there's already lots of talks about these big proms they're going to have. They're going to want to rip off the mask. They just want to be free. They just want to break out, and it's going to be a little crazy for parents and teachers alike with these kids, and just so to know that is what's going on. And it makes me think of the Bad Brains song, "The youth are getting restless," and I think we're really going to see some kids getting a little crazy. And Uranus has just been so strong all this year because all year we're having that Saturn squaring Uranus, and it's going to be exact again in June 24th. And I kind of look at Saturn and Uranus as like two boxers in a ring, and so they are not getting along, and these squares, they create like a diamond making pressure. You know, it's like diamonds are created by the pressure. And on the exact squares, like we have on June 24th, it's like the boxers come into the ring and they punch each other. But even when they're not in an exact square and punching each other, they're back to each other's corners and there's still tension in the room. And Saturn is like the old world order, and it's man controlling with rules and laws and restrictions, and Saturn is the teacher, and he's going to teach us through karma, and there's just a lot of rules and life lessons with Saturn. And then you have Uranus, which is like complete freedom. And I was thinking today as we were out here in the forest that Saturn is like man and Uranus is more wild, like nature, and nature just wants to be wild and free, and Uranus gives a lot of rebellion and freedom, and I'm gonna break free, and I don't care if there's a rule, I'm gonna break it. And I find it so interesting that where I live in Oregon, they are going to tear down the dams in the Klamath River, and that is such a great expression of this Saturn-Uranus conflict, because Saturn, the man, is like, we got a river, we got to dam it up, we got to use that energy for man-made purposes, we got to make electricity. And the river just wants to flow. And the river, you can't dam up a river. The river just wants to go. I mean, you can, but it's not healthy. The fish die and you get algae and it's toxic. So when Saturn puts too much restriction, nature fails to thrive. And so now it looks like Uranus won this battle because the dams are being taken down and the river will flow free again. And I hope to get to see it right when they release the dam, because it's going to be a beautiful expression of, you know, Saturn squaring Uranus and absolute freedom for the river to flow again. And I think there's a lot of hope in this time that we are seeing some profound changes in our world that are supporting the earth in better ways through all this diamond making pressure. We're seeing that things are changing in some ways for the better. And this summer we are entering just a pivotal turning point in our world. And I just wrote an article about this for the Bend Health Guide Spring Edition, which you can read online at bendhealthguide.com under printed guides. I wrote a whole report about all of the changes that are coming this summer. But this is going to be a summer of breaking down to break through. We have, you know, like I said, all that Saturn restriction, and then Uranus is breaking out, but there's going to be a lot of mental health issues coming up this summer too. It's going to be hard. I mean, we're going through these huge changes in our world, and so don't be afraid to break down and know that the breakthrough is coming. And as Robert Frost said, the only way out is through. So this year offers us an opportunity to take a leap of faith, make a change, just go for it. What could happen? And we will have profound growth and transcendence if we can be brave in our breakdown to break through. And do the inner work. There's going to be required a lot of inner work. We have all these retrogrades, as I talked about last time. We're already soaking in the Pluto retrograde, which is really asking us to look at our subconscious, look at our stories, look at our words. What are we saying? What are we thinking? What are we creating? And so do your Pluto retrograde work. Get ready for good old Mercury retrograde. I'll probably talk more about that next time. And then we're going to have a Jupiter retrograde too, where Jupiter goes back to Aquarius. So yeah, lots of retrogrades, lots of change, lots of deep inner work. Don't be afraid of it. And it's a really good time to improve your belief systems. And I really like Vishen from Mind Valley, if any of you know him. He describes a time of a beautiful destruction that happens right before we step into our power. And he says, sometimes you have to destroy a part of yourself to step into the next big thing. And isn't that true? So don't be afraid to destroy a part of yourself. Don't be afraid to lose your job. Don't be afraid to move. Don't be afraid to have the breakup. Don't be afraid to have the breakdown. It's coming for a lot of us, and it's okay. The breakdown is just the destruction before the rebirth, just as the forest renews itself after a fire. And in the 9-star key, the month of May, after May 5th on 5/5, we will be moving into the 2 Earth star, which is so funny. I love how the 9-star key, which is a Chinese astrology, corresponds so well with the Western astrology. In the Western astrology, we have Taurus, Earth sign. In the 9-star key, we have the 2 Earth Mother, Earth sign. And this Earth Mother energy is a much slower energy than the fast-growing tree and the bamboo wood tree that we just came out of for the last 2 months. The tree had a lot of growth. We were all very busy. I'm sure you were feeling it too. Just, oh, I gotta grow, I gotta do this, I'm gonna grow here, I'm gonna grow here, I gotta grow another leaf. And it was a lot of outward expansive energy. And now we are gonna root down again, just like a tree has to nourish its roots. You gotta get back in there. So this is a time to nourish yourself, taking time again for that self-care, eating the healthy foods, nourishing your body. And this can also be a time, Earth Mothers can be known to give too much, to do too much, to work too hard for other people, to let people encroach on your time. So I will say once again, just like the supermoon, it is time to guard your energy. Remember in the Aries, if you watched my Aries report, I was saying this is the time to say yes. Well, now the pendulum swings. This is the time to say no. Nope, can't do it. Nope, can't do it. I'm guarding my energy. I'm doing what I want to do. Every time you give yourself away, you might be losing energy that you should be putting towards what you really want to do for yourself and for moving your mission forward, right? So this is now the time to say no, sorry, I can't. And guard yourself. And be sure to take some time for that well-deserved rest that you're going to want this month. And at the very least, give yourself a lunch break, right? How many people do I know that I work with massage clients and they're like, I never eat lunch. So So that is the Eastern astrology, which corresponds so well with the Western astrology. And now I just want to do a I Ching reading like I do each month. And this new moon's I Ching is number 26, and it's taming one's potential. Oh, I love that. And this is setting the stage for rebirth for man and earth alike. For man and nature to come together in a rebirth that is more balanced. And in this I Ching, we see that power is actually increased when it is harnessed, which again is like the dam. Just like a river that has been dammed, or perhaps a water in a pan that is boiling with the clamped on lid, you can hold and contain the power. But at some point, that pan is going to boil over and the water is going to go everywhere. And at some point, that river is going to break free from the dam and it's going to go wild. So we can try to contain the potential power, and there may be exceptional opportunities that come to you this month. But you have to be careful that your energy doesn't boil over, that you don't do too much, that you don't explode, that you don't yang out. And you will have considerable reserves of energy if you just stay steady. And you may need to draw on support from friends and family. And this is an excellent time to nurture your own creativity and collect and organize your best ideas. And all of this takes time. And it's the containing of the potential, a hidden source of power for those who wish to do noble deeds is to connect with your ancestors. And this time is really asking you to go deep within, connecting with your ancestors, listening to the messages, because the lives of those wise and successful beings are like treasures buried in the earth. Good fortune will come to those who can unearth such valuable treasures. So spend some time in nature, because nature is where the spirits of the ancestors will whisper to you their secrets. And see if you can unearth some treasures. And funny, speaking of unearthing treasures, I brought some crystals today that I thought were really appropriate for the new moon in Taurus. And we do some rock hounding around Central Oregon, and one of the stones that we found is this mahogany obsidian. And obsidian would be a really good crystal to work with if you're doing a new moon ritual, or if you just want to set your intention for whatever you want to manifest. Just sit with your crystal. If you have an obsidian, I had a dream the other night about a green obsidian, and so I feel like it's calling. I might have to ask my ancestors where it is. But if anybody has green obsidian, let me know where to find that, because whew, green obsidian sounds magical. But this mahogany obsidian is very readily available here in Oregon, and it is so good for just using as a manifesting stone. And it's very earthy, and it's very connected to Taurus. And I also have this bloodstone, which bloodstone is good in the spring. So many of us are a little bit blood depleted after a long winter, and so it's a good time to eat blood building foods and to hold the bloodstone and use that in a Taurus new moon as well. And this one is chrysocolla, and chrysocolla is such a good healing stone, and it's really good for going deep within. And all the green and turquoise stones are very connected to the Taurus energy. And this is an emerald stone. And emerald is Taurus's favorite stone, and that is also really good for just manifesting and opening the heart chakra. And of course, Taurus connected to Venus is very much aligned with that heart chakra energy. And then a very useful stone for me right now is shungite. And shungite really protects you from taking on other people's energies, which we don't want to be taking on too many people's energies. And this time, I love this one. It has a little ridge for your thumb, so I call it my thumb stone, because you can just rub it. And if you're in a room and maybe you're hearing negativity or fear, you can rub your shungite and be like, oh, not my story, cancel, cancel. I'm not gonna take that on. And so I just love to work with crystals at the new moon, and I like to set my intentions. I'll probably set a new moon intention of protecting myself from some of the fear we might see this summer, and using the chrysocolla to connect in deeper, talk to the ancestors. And of course, emerald, want to keep that one close to my heart, and the bloodstone for the blood building, and mahogany obsidian. And the one last thing that I want to do before I end today is I just want to do a little energy clearing. Since we had that Scorpio supermoon, of course, I love the Scorpio supermoon myself because I am a Scorpio, but I know not everybody can do Scorpio. Scorpio is a little bit too much energy. I've heard that all my life. You're too much. Scorpio energy is just too much for a lot of people, and I've been seeing a lot of people feeling really knocked out, overwhelmed by the energy of that supermoon, and we're still feeling it. We'll still, you know, there's like 10 days after the supermoon that we're still in it. And so I just want to send out a little distance Reiki energy clearing for all of you who are watching. And I'm just gonna swing my pendulum, and I'm gonna hold my mahogany as a grounding, and I'm gonna send Reiki your way, that you will be cleared emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually, clearing you from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And just take a deep breath. And just breathe in this sweet medicine, this sweet clearing. And it's funny, as I'm just sending this clearing now to anyone and all of you across time, space, and dimension who will be watching this, I am seeing I'm seeing babies and pregnant women. It's so funny. Maybe it's because I do fertility acupressure and I work with a lot of pregnant women, and I know a lot of my pregnant clients like to watch my moon reports. But I'm also clearing all the babies that are coming in right now. They are powerful, but they're not too sure they want to sign up for this, and I can't blame them. So we've got some resistant babies who need some clearing too. And I'm sending clearing to just everyone and anyone who watches this now. And thank you so much for joining me to talk about the new moon. And please like and subscribe, and then you'll get notified when I do the Sagittarius Supermoon Eclipse. You don't want to miss that one. Thank you so much, and have a beautiful day. And one quick thing I forgot to mention is that I just started a 40-day chant for rain. And because in the Pacific Northwest, well, all of the West Coast, we are in a drought, the likes we haven't seen for 12,000 years. So join us for this Har Har chant for 40 days. Make a commitment to do it at least once a day for 40 days. And not only will you be increasing the moisture and the rain in the West Coast, but you will be, or wherever you live it'll bring rain, but you will also be increasing your own personal prosperity. Thank you.